Matter of fact, let us go. Let us view reclusive ass nigga. All I do is look out the windows. Let us review this. Look outside, bruv. Busy ass shit. I haven't been outside in weeks. Only time I'm outside is to travel with my girlfriend to the corner store or get something to eat with her. She's been providing for you. Fuck you, man. And I'm a piece of shit. Because I'm just sitting here, and this is the type of shit that I'm on. Been on for years. I'm willing to sit here and watch my fucking bus pass. Nigga, taking this time to talk, I literally could have walked the fuck outside, walked to the bus, and I would have been there on time. What the fuck is wrong with you, G? Life is happening all around me. There's a restaurant literally right next door, literally. Construction going outside, right outside. And look, the bus still hasn't passed, you fuck. You had more than enough time. And you're just gonna sit inside. What? Like a reclusive. What the fuck are you doing? What am I doing? But this is just to say, this is the type of behavior I've been on for 5 years, bro. Set myself up for failure. Tell a motherfucker I'm gonna be at a job and I don't go. Like, I'm the type of motherfucker that will show up to the job, sit outside, be nervous, turn the fuck around. Look, and the bus still hasn't fucking drove by. Which is a fucking sign, dude. I'm fucking up. And I'm still gonna fuck up, right? And I'm too prideful or whatever to even jump out there as the bus is coming, wave my hand, and fucking run to the bus stop. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Matter of fact, I'm more likely to buy a bus ticket for later and fucking go to fucking who knows where and still go to a park and still just walk around, which was my fucking job. My fucking job was to walk around a park and make sure that birds were not nesting. To walk in a park, bro, that's what the fuck I do. Literally, I will take a bus to not make money and to go walk in a park. Oh, I need to get 6 miles in. But you won't fucking take a bus to get a fucking job to go walk in a park. What kind of insanity is that? And you're just gonna sit and watch and wait. You had more than enough time to catch the fucking bus. Look at all this bustling activity, bro. There's a corner store. There's 2 Mexican restaurants. Construction going on outside. Literally in the heart of this little town, because the city hall is literally right behind that Mexican restaurant over there. Where's the bus? Did I miss it? Literally sitting here for the bus, bruh. You have more than enough time to catch that motherfucker. You trash, G. Trash. Woke up not wanting to go to work. Like, the job is so fucking easy, nigga. You can't go to this job? I mean, it's in 2 hours, but catch the fucking bus now or else you don't fucking catch shit. Maybe it already passed. I wanted to witness it go by. Because I swear, every time I drive and I see the bus, I'm thinking, that's your ride, dude. I don't even feel good using my girl's car. You know, last time I drove it, I felt like shit because we got in an argument. And I'm like, I'm using her fucking car. And then I ended up not even doing shit. I literally went to a park and just walked, waiting for her to get off of work. Which, like, was literally my fucking job right now, G. The job I was supposed to start today, bird mitigation. Although they did say it was February 1st that it starts. So I may be tripping. Because it might start not this Monday, but next Monday. Because I do remember in orientation, they did say that the work starts February 1st. So I may be in for luck because I remember him saying that they're going to get another phone call. So, and he was just making sure to coordinate like what days and times I wanted. I said full time, Monday through Friday, and I'm gonna work 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. And maybe that's another reason why I didn't particularly want to go this morning, because I'm thinking there's a chance that, I might not start work today. But then it's like, bro, you need adventure, G. You need to go. How was I a kid that always wanted to travel? I was a kid and I always caught the bus. Always. I learned that from being homeschooled. I would ride with my mother to the library. The bus must have passed or something and I missed it like a jackass. Because it ain't passing. But how do you go from a kid that was always traveling? I learned to catch the bus riding with my parents, right? While my dad was at work, my mama took us to to the library and shit. I remember being a kid, like riding the bus. Therefore, when I was in yeah, it passed a while ago, you fucking shithead. But I remember in high school, like friends and people, they'd be like, "Oh, like I've never ridden the bus before." I'd be like, "Nothing. Let's go. I'll show you how. I've done it. Take the fucking bus." So my whole high school career, I'm fucking taking a fucking bus. Like my friends didn't know how to take the bus. My friends never had that experience, and to me, I'm like, there's nothing. So how you go from taking the bus my whole high school career? That's why I got my first job. No matter what, I still maintained it because I'm like, catch the fucking bus. And I'm still like fine with catching the bus. It's just that I need to get the fuck out. Like I don't know, man. Maybe the job didn't start. It's January 27th. They originally said it starts February 1st. So maybe I have time. I never got a confirmation text. I never got another phone call. But still, regardless, I told myself, like, catch the fucking bus, G. Like, get the fuck out. So what? What if it's not your first day? Like, you take buses to go to the park anyway. Like, just take the fucking bus. Go to the park. And so what? If no one's here and it's not your first day, fucking have a nice day outside, G. What the fuck? I know I'm bashing myself because in reality, the aviation like tool repair and the bird mitigation was supposed to start like same time. And matter of fact, if I do start, because it's supposed to start February 1st, bird mitigation, which is on Saturday. My schedule is supposed to be Monday through Friday. So in reality, if I got my shit together and stopped smoking THCA from the corner store and, detox my system, then in the amount, by the next Monday, really I would have a choice whether I go with the bird mitigation, which is less pay and no future of moving up, or go to the aviation. That's kind of how I viewed it, is because orientation for the aviation tool repair is every Monday. And then the job that I was supposed to start with the bird mitigation starts on Monday. So I kind of figured if you stop smoking, use this time to detox, and if you do it in time, choose the better job, better pay, and a future outlook. Rather than bird mitigation, which is just fucking clapping some boards or using some fucking dynamite or whatever the fuck it was to blow up and shit to detour the birds. Like, that's my job, G. But so what? It's walking around, nigga. Like literally, because I'm all dressed up and ready to go, I still might just catch the bus, but go to the other side of town, the north side of town where I used to live, because yesterday, bro, I was crying, G, which is crazy. I'm not one to like show emotions. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm stoic, but I've had like my girls say that I'm stoic, stern. My father said I'm very close to the chest, you know. My father knows I'm not prone to anger necessarily. You know, like when my mother died and I was blaming my half sister and I told him how I was feeling, he was like, "Whoa, that's pretty strong coming from you. Like that's unusual, you know? I'm not one to blow up like that." And like when I told him like I was afraid of going to the funeral cuz I thought I'd blow up or cuss somebody out, he's like, "I don't picture you doing that," you know? And truthfully, I don't picture myself doing that, but I was upset. So I don't really show my emotions too much, you know. Not really even the sadness, you know. And maybe it's because I was at peace with my mom. Because when my mom passed, you know, I was kind of expecting it in a way. So you know, I did cry, but it wasn't too crazy, you know. And it really didn't last too long. But I think it's because I let it all out at my mom's bedside. But today's the 27th, and my mama died on Christmas. So yesterday was the 26th, and I guess I was thinking about how it's been 30 days since my mama passed. And, which is crazy because earlier in the day, after I got in an argument with my girl, I'm thinking, bro, this is not my house, man. Like, if I was in charge or if this was my house, like, I wouldn't have animals everywhere. You know, I wouldn't, so that like shit's on the floor. Like, it's disturbing because it's like to a point now where it's like I have a disdain, I have a distaste for animals in the house. Because I was thinking about that. It's like it's not that I'm starting to dislike animals. It's just that I'm starting to dislike animals in the house. So I don't see myself having a future with this girl because the old head from Houston, when he came to talk to me, he said, "You look at her mom; she's the representation, you know, displaying what your girl's gonna be like in some years because she's demonstrating and she's gonna follow her lead, right? The mama's a independent woman, don't need no man, right? All she's seen is her mama date and see a bunch of niggas that are no good pieces of shit, honestly. Or what do I know? And but she's has reoccurring boyfriends. She's an independent woman, strong, stern, and has animals dressed up in cute little dresses and shit. But I remember when this girl got this dog when we stayed at the apartments. She asked my opinion. I said, "She, you know, I wouldn't do it, especially not in an apartment." But she did it anyway. When she got a raise and a bonus, and I got like a good check, and we literally just took care of some debts and some bills, and like I had a first free check, and she just got a bonus. But we had just come from a time of hustling and living below our means, and you know, and I remember she wanted to go on a shopping spree, and I was like, you know, I kind of want to like, you know, keep living like how we've been living, you know, below our means, keep scraping, not spend too much, like how we've been living for like the past month, right? Let's just do it again, another 2 weeks or so. But she wanted to go on a shopping spree, and on this shopping spree, I got one pair of shoes, just one outfit practically, and a hookah. a cheap ass hookah that I don't even use anymore. But I got Champion T-shirt, shorts, and some Nikes. We got a matching pair of Nikes, but she got like 3 pairs of shoes, maybe 4, and I swear she has like 2 of those pairs. She's got 1 pair for damn sure she has never ever worn ever. But she got her way then. Like when we went to get the house, like I'm thinking, and I didn't connect the dots then, but I'm thinking I wouldn't go to a damn house just because she got a raise. And I know you want the space, but if I know I'm in no position because I'm what? I'm a bum ass nigga. I have nothing going for me and I can bring nothing to the table. That's why my ex broke up before I met this girl. Cause she's like, what are you bringing to the table? You got nothing. And that's right after I quit aviation technician school. And I know I have no leadway, but still, I understand the concept that when you get a raise, you still live below your means. You don't level up yet, not quite yet. Let alone she has a brand new car off the lot, like this year. So expensive car note, moving to a house with, if the roommate wasn't here, it'd be useless. Because this room that we're staying in, I deemed it the room of solace. Because it was literally empty. This is supposed to be the master bedroom. And it was empty. And all that was in it was this fucking cat. Now we have a bed in it and shit, but literally, we have wasted space. If anything, I should have got my mama to come down here. Before she passed. But I was just thinking yesterday, man. The turn of events was just so interesting. Yesterday was just such a wild ride. I got in an argument with my girl, and I'm thinking how this isn't my house, G. I wouldn't have anything this way. Like when she first got that dog, I was like, I don't think it's smart. And then when she actually did get it, a $3,000 dog, by the way, she could have bought me a car. Not that I necessarily wanted her to, but this old head said like she bought a dog, an expensive ass dog, but she didn't buy you a car. Shit like that. But it doesn't matter. I didn't necessarily deserve one. You know, I wanted to walk around like a jackass. Um, but she got the dog and was sleeping with the fucking dog, and I'm in bed and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I don't want to sleep with this damn animal. But I didn't get my way then. She got mad at me then because I didn't want to sleep with the fucking dog. And now like we have this dog and like shits everywhere if we don't take it out on time. Like wake up, there's shit on the floor. And really that's on me because I could be tip top performance, right? I could wake up at 4 a.m., make sure the dogs go out, make sure everything's clean so that by the time she wakes up, nothing's out of order, right? That's on me. Step up your game. Don't wish for an easier life. Wish to get better, right? I could do better. I know that. I could be waking up at 4. I could be not smoking so I could get the job I really want. It's great that I'm starting to go to school and shit, but you gotta clock the fuck in. That's just life, G. I've been going too long without clocking in. 8 hours of your day, right? You got about like what, 16 hours to play with? And 8 hours of them are supposed to be dedicated to a job. Get that through your skull, or at least do the fundamentals to do something that you think you would at least enjoy so much, rather than fucking frying chicken or working in fast food or some shit. Because you don't want to work in fast food, but it's all that you can do because you're not willing to stop smoking to pass a drug test. That's on you. But regardless, motherfucker, go to McDonald's and make some fries, jackass. You know, this place that I'm in, it's like I'm so out of place. I have no car. What? It's 12:30. If I really wanted to make it uh to my first day of work at 2 p.m., I'd have to call a friend for a ride, and who knows if they would even do that. But I'm the type of nigga that I would, even if you were across town. If my homeboy called me for a ride while I still had my whip, motherfucker, I'd pull up. Every time my dad would, when I first moved to San Antonio and I had my car, every time my dad called, I pulled the fuck up, solve your problem. Didn't want to. It was not you know, going out of my way, but I fucking pull up. Homeboys need some help. I pull the fuck up. That's who I was. My niggas know where I live, excuse my language, but my homeboys, they know where I stay. No one's ever pulled up just out of the blue. But that's the type of stuff that I would do. Like if I had a whip, I'd just fucking pull up. Even if I didn't call you, even if we haven't talked, I'd fucking just show up. Hey, even if you didn't answer the door, I'd be like, well, where's your shot? That's the type of person I am. I would just pull up. My boys even know that my mama died 30 days ago. Nobody's pulled up. I at least half expected, like, my best friend from middle school to just pull up out of the blue. They all have at least come to pick me up, right? Literally everyone that I could converse with / think is a friend. Well, three people that I've conversed with over the last 8 years, and I swear I would do anything, for these people so called. I was thinking about this old head from Houston, but it's like I really don't need to talk to him ever again. Because although he has impacted my life a great deal, taught me great life lessons, but it's like he's driving a car right now that I paid him for, never gave it to me. He's asked to borrow money from me, and I can say it's probably been over a few $1,000s. When I lived in Conroe, like a jackass, I gave him $600 once. Gave him my whole check. Never got it back. And maybe he's how I learned. Maybe he taught me to pawn every good thing that I had. You have something good, pawn it. That when I had a car, paid cash, sell it. He sold 2 cars for me that, yeah, they may have been down bad a little bit, but hey, motherfucker, you need transportation. Although he has taught me great life lessons, he taught me how to drive better, be a defensive driver. Those are things that changed my life till this day. I use it every day. But I mean the simple fact that what? Would you do that to him? I've done the utmost for him, right? I've gone out of my way. I've dropped him off in a different city when I was coming from Houston to San Antonio. I went out of my way to drop him off somewhere. Then he called me to pick him up, and I'm like, well, that was obvious, right? Like I sent him money to take a Greyhound back to Houston. I would do so much for him, but would he do the same for me? No. He even is driving a car that I asked my mom for money, gave it directly to him, and I've never driven that car ever. My homeboys never just pulled up out of the blue. Like my best friend since middle school, he knows where I live. He's been here to pick me up twice. My homeboy, his cousin, who I considered a good friend, who we would work out together and stuff, and I think we view life in similar ways. I think uh, he's been here, once before. He's never pulled up, and I know for sure that they all know that my mama died. Nobody, my boy, he tried to talk to me and he said he wanted to hang out, and I never got back to him, and that's on me. But still, regardless, like if I knew his mama died, like at some point I would have pulled the fuck up. And they're good guys, but also I'm reclusive, or I stay back. I distance myself. So yesterday, I just went down this spiral of getting quite sad because, and it started off when I got in an argument with my girl first thing in the morning. And I have to say, by the way, yesterday was so productive. Yesterday was an interesting day. I don't know, but maybe something's in the works, in the atmosphere. Because I got in an argument with my girl off the bat because I'm waking up and she's doing something like tickling me or something, and I'm just waking up, so I'm like, what the fuck? Then she starts like tickling me again, and I'm like, yo, kind of like a little like back, and she was like, what the fuck? She gets all upset. I'm like, what the fuck? You're fucking with me while I'm still asleep. What the shit? You know? And because I haven't been journaling in my notebook. I've been journaling on my notepad and my phone. The plan is to, at the end of the week, because I'm used to journaling every single day, but if I start working a 9 to 5, probably gonna have to limit it to like one day out of the week. But I'm getting a phone call, G. I'm pretty sure this is the guy. Oh no, I'm not gonna answer. Jackass. That's probably the people confirming if I'm gonna go to work. Could be. Who knows who it is? No, I don't think so. That looks like a different number. That might be the aviation school. Hey, Wes Watson said be responsive. I'm doing dirty by not picking up the phone. This is why I'm supposed to be labeling phone numbers. And that's why you're supposed to have the sound on, because you're supposed to be responsive. But it's whatever. They'll leave a fucking voicemail. Looks like a new number anyway. But yesterday was just so interesting, bro. 8 a.m. I set an alarm, but I hit it to snooze, and that's another thing I've been noting is like I need to wake up earlier. When I first got to San Antonio, I was telling myself my wake up time is 5 a.m. Didn't really follow it. Now I've been having this sense that's been telling me every day your wake up time is 4:30. But then when it's actually time to wake up, I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like I have nothing to do. Cause like if I wake up and try to listen to like Bob Proctor or a church service or try to do my journaling, I fall asleep while I'm listening to it. I fall asleep. So it's like I gotta wake up and get active at least, then I'm cool with journaling, listening to something positive, because I tried to wake up at like 4:30 and listen to Bob Proctor, but I fell asleep. So it's like, okay, you know how you are. But then I'm like, oh, it's going to be dark and cold. I'm not going to want to go for a walk or some shit. I've had bad experiences. Maybe there's some homeless people or some shit. So I told myself, okay, do some push ups first thing. Oh, well, I don't want to do them in the bedroom with my girl. And I don't want to go out there because she's going to be like, where are you going? Excuses, excuses. But let me document this. 8 a.m., whatever, I didn't get up. That's how I know I'm doing wrong. When I set an alarm for myself to wake up and I don't get up out of bed and I go back to sleep, that's how I know I'm fucking up. But then 9 o'clock, my girl's bitching about the animals shitting on the floor and stuff, and I'm thinking, what the fuck do you expect, Animals shitting on the floor, bruh. And so I think that combined with me waking up today, like waking up saying that negative shit. I'm trying to change my vocabulary too, right? To speak positive, but like I'm waking up saying, fuck, bro, I hate this place. I hate living here. This is not my house. I wouldn't have things way. I wouldn't have it decorated this way. I wouldn't have animals living in the fucking house. I would kick 100% of the animals out the fucking house. I would have zero animals in the house. Zero fucking animals, right? I'm like, this place is a shithole. Like, there's shit stains on the carpet. Like, this place is shit, bro. Which is being ungrateful. Because, motherfucker, at least you have a place to sleep. Motherfucker, you can still be working hard. Anyway, so I wake up to the girl that, I wake up to the girl bitching about these animals and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I get in this depressive state and I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't see a way out, because it's clear as day to me. I got to get out of this relationship. She's a good girl, nice girl, but I don't want to be here. I don't want this, bruh. And it's like, you don't like your situation, but regardless, you got to motherfucking work to get out, G. And then I'm all depressive because, oh, last year when I had a job, like literally all my money went to the girl. So I'm like, I was literally running in place, paying the bills, and then just fucking still living there, not having money of my own. But hey, bills are paid, groceries paid. But that's life, right? And regardless, motherfucker, just work harder, get a second job, and get your own money, right? Because I need a savings. But every time I get a little scrap of money, even if it's a little extra money, I still give it to the girl. I was thinking about that before. Like when I borrowed money from my mama, I had like $400 free. And I literally told myself, like, go to your homeboys, get the fuck out of here, pay for your first month's rent, get the fuck out of here. I gave all the money to her. Not, I didn't even save none back for myself. I sent it all to her. What the fuck? She didn't even like need it. She just used it. You dig? So yesterday, I woke up in this mental state because the girl is all upset. And I'm thinking, fuck, what am I doing here? I don't see a way out. I don't see a way out unless I were to work hard, stop smoking, motherfucker, stop being a jackass, get a considerable amount of savings, and then make a clean break, go stay with your homeboys. Because the way we be arguing, bro, I'm like, bro, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna last till June. But like, regardless, my name's on the lease. You could at least just work hard and hardly be home and just work your ass off like 12, 16 hours a day. That way you have money for yourself, create a savings, and then make a clean break. Then you'll have the balls and the leverage to say, hey, I don't like living here. I'm leaving. Peace. Motherfucker. At least you'll have the money to do something with it. Because right now, it's like, I want to talk that shit, but it's like, okay, the answer is to get the fuck out of here, bro. You don't have shit. You have no leverage. So I was in a shitty mood yesterday morning. I'm like, it doesn't matter if I'm working regardless because I give her all my money. I feel like a bitch. I leave the house. I go for a walk. come back. Because I know that that's always helped me when I stayed at my dad's. Even then, I didn't have a job, but first thing in the morning, I wake up, literally put my shoes on, go for a walk. And that's really what's best for me. Even when I stayed at my mom's, like, didn't have a job, but I could borrow a car. And 5 a.m., wake up, hit the fucking door. Boom, go. And go to the gym and get my cardio on the treadmill. Like, that's always helped me. I gotta get the fuck up and I gotta go for a walk. Get some air, get the blood going a little bit. Then when I come back, I'm not so upset. Regardless, because I witnessed it at my dad's. If I didn't go for my walk and I slept in and then he wakes up, I get a bad attitude and I'm fucking giving him shit. Motherfucker, you're the one with no job sleeping on his couch and he's getting ready for work, you know? But I'm over here giving him shit. Same thing with the girl. She's over here providing for you, paying bills, buying groceries. And like you give her shit. But motherfucker is you. Anyway, but yesterday was the most productive because I kept track of it literally every single hour. It's the most productive that I've been in a while. And it started off super negative with the girl arguing, thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I don't like this place. I don't like this environment. What the fuck have I done? Then I go for my walk, 45-minute walk, come back. She's left for work. Roommate's still here, but I come in here. I hit 300 squats. My goal was for 1,000, but I'm like, I'm going to split it, like do 200 sessions, 200 squats in a session. You know, did a little bit extra, did 300. Felt a little bit better about myself. I specifically wanted to study physiology for 2 hours to make some leadway. And I did. I studied. Pretty good study session, not gonna lie. That was for 2 hours. In the midst of my studying, I thought I heard the dog outside or something, but I go out and the dog pooped in the kitchen. And my rule for myself is that if I see a mess or if I see boo-boo on the floor, you stop right now and you clean that shit up now. You don't wait. Don't go take a shit first. Don't go do nothing first. You do that first. That's my rule, you know, and sometimes I would pass on it, you know, recently, but I'm trying to hop back in that shit to where like, nah, I'm like, so I saw the boo-boo, you know, I stopped studying to clean it up. Then I went back, but it was kind of good because I signed up for the library, a library card on Saturday. And I gotta say, like, over the weekend, I felt the most productive because I was I was constantly on my phone, and I'm sure the girl was feeling some type of way about it. But the only difference is I'm not on social media. Like I was doing all types of stuff, taking notes like crazy. I have Canva app, so and I have the 3 devices that I'm really doing work on. If I'm on my device, I'm either taking notes, making content, doing Canva, creating backgrounds. Like I had this background on my phone. I made this background using Canva, which is really just my 3 pillars for life that I've had since I stayed with my dad. But now I read it every single day. You know what I'm saying? On this phone, I'm studying physiology, or you know, so you know, when this phone dies, I hop on this phone and start studying, you know, and then I still use the laptop to study or to create. So this weekend I was either studying, making content with Canva, or taking notes. So I was constantly like on devices, but being the most productive. It was a whirlwind. I really felt great about it. And I knew like, oh, you're studying physiology? Like you're trying to get the certificate, you don't even have a job, motherfucker. Then I got in a big ass argument, and that's how I knew. Because when I got in an argument with that girl this morning, or that morning yesterday, I said, that's how you know. That's how I know I'm on the right path, is when shit starts going wrong. Like when I started college, when I started getting a good job, whatever it was, different circumstances in my life. Either I just made a paradigm shift in my mind that I need to do something, right? And then my dad would say something directly to what I just thought. And then I get pissed off because I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I literally just told myself I have to do this shit, and this motherfucker just told me that shit. That shit it pissed me off. And it's happened with my girl, her mom. They've made comments, and then as a result, I get pissed off, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I literally just made a distinct decision in my mind that I need to do this, and this person's bitching at me. That's another thing too, bro. Because I've always been worried about what a motherfucker got to say. It's like, motherfucker, if you don't have answers to the problem, get the fuck out. Don't just tell me what I'm doing wrong. You better have a result. That's how I want to be with people. I don't want to tell shit about what the fuck you're doing wrong unless I got a way out. You know, and I was always looking for a motherfucker to help me or mentor me, you know. But, you know, what the fuck do you want? Everyone's average, bro. Anyway, regardless. Look at you. I still have no leadway. I don't have my own car. I don't have a steady source of income, right? So it's like all this knowledge don't matter for shit if you ain't gonna have capital, because that's what you gotta have, bro. Regardless, right? You got nothing to stand on. That's it. But yesterday was just so interesting, bro. Because I'm studying this physiology. I told myself distinctly, I want to like make it this far. And the fact that I got in that argument with the girl, it was a switch. Because instead of not doing it and spiraling and hating on myself like I usually do, I said, that's a sign that I need to continue. Because I know it probably seems dumb, like you're studying physiology, you don't even have a job yet. But I told myself I want to make leadway and then do it, maintain it while I'm working, you know, little bit by little bit. And the fact that I got in that argument with the girl, I was like, you know what? I'm going to drive, I'm going to go all in on this, because if shit's going wrong, usually I stop. But now that shit's going wrong, I'm like, you know what? That's telling me that I should go all in. So I didn't stop. And it was the most productive day, G, because literally I was moving the whole time yesterday. From the time my girl went to work to the time she got back, I was doing something. Yeah, I took a lunch break, but I literally watched my favorite show, and that was my only break. I watched this comedy show. I made myself a sandwich, got some food in my system. When it was over, continued moving. Because I said, hey, motherfuckers in the normal work world, they only get 30-minute breaks. You know? So, but other than that, I was active. And I just want to go over it real quick. So, went for a 45-minute walk. By the time I get back, my girl's gone. I hit 300 squats. Then I said I want to do 2 hours of physiology. So I'm studying from 10. But around 12 o'clock, dog made a mess. I saw it. I stopped cleaning it up. Oh yeah, so then when I came back around 12:15, I started studying exercise physiology, which is interesting. Everything that's happening, bro, I'm not too sure as to why. But when it catches me and I'm feeling it and I'm just going with it. And I'm like, I started this certificate, I'm going to finish it. And I got the way I'm operating is like I'm trying to take everything for advantage, all the free stuff, everything. Like The library. I'm like, oh, I want to get to the library. Even though I'm sure I owe dues, and that normally would have stopped me. But I went to the website and I still got a temporary online library card regardless. Good for 30 days or something. And so that I could try to get an online catalog. So I have an app from the library to where I can read a physiology book, but it is put in the simplest terms as if to a child could understand it. And it literally seems a little ridiculous, some of the words, because you're like, the way they put stuff, it is in such simple terms, you can tell like it kind of, this is kind of childish, but it's helping me understand fully more. So I have a physiology book that's like, they say in the beginning, they put it in simplest terms because they feel like, you want to make it as simple as to where a child could understand it. So even though some of the parts do seem ridiculous, it does help out. So I'm thinking I'm getting different point of views from that textbook. I took a hold on a book, a physiology book at the city library. And I just got an email this morning that it's available, that I can go pick it up. So I could get a physical copy of a literally like Physiology for Dummies or something like that. And I just felt the most productive over the weekend, bro. Because I had a mentality that I start work today on Monday. So I'm like, I'm going to jam pack all this stuff. Make some leadway. So I have this library book, and then it says, with this, you have other resources, online catalogs, online books, online courses. I saw something for Udemy, which is go through Gale University, connected to the library as well. So I was able to do that, and I'm like, they have free services with this. So I looked up physiology in this Udemy school online, whatever, and it had exercise physiology. So I'm like, I'm in the exercise. And I start looking into that, and that was interesting and caught my attention. Because some of it correlates with what I'm already learning, and I think it gives me a good perspective on that. And then, since I'm exercising myself, it's giving me some good pointers on exercising and how to do it properly. Because I've been concerned about that. So it's very interesting how these things are fitting together in the midst of a little bit of chaos in my mind, which is usually when I know things are going right, but it's like the hardest time because it's mentally. So I studied exercise physiology, which I thought was a cool perspective, gave me a little bit more insight into it. Then I went directly from that and I had a big pile of dishes from like leading up to the weekend. I don't know, I was lazy or I wasn't on top of my stuff. Also, mind you, the girl was off. And whenever the girl's off, I cut off my own shit to chill with her. So I didn't do my routine, didn't do shit, right? Well, only thing I would probably maintain is my push-ups, but I wasn't doing my dishes or my chores, which is little shit, but. So I had this big pile of dishes, bro. Literally all the dishes that we used were in the sink. And did it at 1:15, did it for like 30 minutes, right? Or 20 minutes. However long. So I did some of the dishes. Then I mopped the floor. Then at 1:45, I went for another 45-minute walk because I'm looking outside. It looks like it might get a little disruptive. And I wrote down in my journal that I wanted to do 45 minutes plus 45 minutes. And I don't even know why, but I'm like, why the fuck did I put a second session of 45 minutes? I never even walked one session of 45 minutes. Or, I used to, but it's been a damn while. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and knock it out right now and just do the 45 minutes. Get it out of the way. So I went for another walk, which is so interesting because Saturday, when I dropped off my girl at work, I went for a walk. And although it took me a while to pick her up, and I was still a little anxious because I'm like, damn, I'm taking a while because I went the wrong way. But I discovered a new trail I've never been on at my favorite park. So I got to, I'm excited to go back. And I feel like I had a brain blast and I took notes while I was walking as to how I would maintain my fitness and work a 9 to 5 because that's always been my issue. Don't know why, but even when I went to school, like I'd be like, oh, I want to do my workout, but the splits help. The splits has helped for everything, and I've been debating that since I lived in the apartments. Because my main thing was, oh, I just want to run everything through, which is good, and it's good sometimes. Sometimes you can do that. But it's like I was trying to hit 1,000 squats yesterday, and usually my thing would be, okay, I'm gonna hit it all in a row. So that'd be like an hour, 40 minutes, hour, 30 minutes, which used to be 4 hours, hitting it all the way through. But I'm gonna do some splitting, split my squats. I split the dishes, big old pile of dishes, right? Seems crazy, but I did a little bit, quick 15 minutes, 45-minute walk, because I'm thinking how I want to get like an hour and a half total because I need 10,000 steps. And I got that from staying at my dad's because when I would stay at my dad's, my goal was to make 10,000 steps every single day. And during that course, I lost like 6 pounds throughout the month. But I was able to track that. And I did 10,000. It started out with 6,000 steps a day, then 10,000 steps a day. I'm not sure if I would aim for 10,000 steps a day, but I know over the weekend, I'm like, I want to get 10,000 steps in. So I knew the math. I got to do 45, and I can split that and then do 45 later. 45 in the morning, 45 in the afternoon. So after I did some of the dishes, mopped the floor, I was like, okay, my rack's full. I'll let these dishes dry. Go for another walk. Go for my 45-minute walk. Come home. Do dishes. Then I do 500 squats. Then I take a lunch break. Then 30 minutes later, I do more dishes. Then, for some reason, bro, I listened to someone who was talking about Jesus. So it was Iron in the Soul. Because there's a YouTuber I've been listening to for some years now. But there's few people on YouTube that when they post something and I see a notification, I'm like, I ought to listen like right now, right? Like I usually be like, oh, I'll put it off. But when I do that, I feel like I miss information. It's usually a good message. Really, right now, it's just 2 people. But this person posted a video. And I'm like, I'll listen to it while I do dishes. Because that's my thing. And I got that from my good friend who's cousins with my best friend, the one I brought up earlier. He said multitask, learn something while you're doing dishes. Play that video while you're doing it, because usually, people ask me, what do you do all day? I'm just sitting, watching guys talk or watching documentary, taking notes. My friend said, you should listen to that stuff while you're doing something. Do your laundry, do your dishes, whatever. So, my man posted a video, right? And I saw it when I was taking my lunch. I limited it to a 30-minute lunch. Usually I do 1 hour, 2 hours. I set a 2-hour timer because, I prefer not to work out, directly after eating. I prefer to wait 2 hours. And before, I wouldn't eat at all but my friend convinced me also, like, you need to get some type of fuel in you before you lift at least. And I want to lift like 2 times a week, maybe. So yesterday I wanted to do some weighted squats with a dumbbell, hold the dumbbell. So I take my lunch break after hitting 500 squats. So I had a total of 800 squats. 200, I'll hit 1,000. Then I wanted to hit 500 weighted squats, which really, after I wrote it, I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy. Because I'm pretty sure, like, my thing is, if I'm going to do the weighted, if I'm going to do 1,000, I want to do 1,111. So do 1,000 squats and then do the 111 with the weight. But I put 500, and that made me think about when I created these 3 pillars that I wrote when I was with my dad. When I lived with my dad, bro, that there were some breakthroughs, but the problem was that I would tell him about a lot of it, and he'd be like, "Ooh." But number 1 is positive mental attitude. Number 2 is definite purpose. Number 3 is word of stone. And it was kind of thinking like when I want to accomplish something, and I was thinking about push-ups, like don't lie. Your word is bond. So if I say I'm gonna hit 100, and then I don't within that day, does it mean you're a loser? No, no, no. I just won't say that I'm going to hit 100 again because I know I don't have that capacity. So I'm going to say I'll hit 50, and then I do it, then it rings true, and my subconscious knows what I say is true. Then maybe next time I do 75 and say I'm going to hit 75 and I do it, and I'm confident that I can do it. Then the next week I say I'm going to hit 100 and I do it because I'm confident. But if I say I'm going to hit 100 and I don't do it, well then it's a loop. We start back over, and next time we say, I'm not going to say 100 because I know I'm not going to hit it, but I'm going to say 50. And even if you have to say something even lower, that might seem, I'll do 25, but without a doubt you'll get it done because we want that confidence that we do what we say. So, hey, yesterday, and I knew it yesterday because I'm like, I'm going to hit 500 weighted squats. And I'm like, that's kind of a lot when it came down to it. But I started attacking it like crazy, and I only hit halfway. But literally when I hit the halfway mark, my girl pulls up. And I don't know if it's because I let out all that energy with the weighted squats, but that's when I got really emotional, bro, and everything was adding up. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself because I hit the 300 squats, went for another walk, did the dishes, just trying to stay productive. Hit 500 squats. Then I took a lunch break because I'm like, I'm at 800, almost there. Did the dishes right after, another round of dishes. And while I'm doing the dishes, I listened to this man who posted, to whom I'm thinking, shouldn't put it off, man. You should listen right now. And he's talking about how we have angels protecting us. And however it was, I was feeling it, the message. Even though, mind you, I'm in a bad place mentally, I'm also thinking other thoughts. Like I want to do certain stuff I know I shouldn't do. But it was the craziest thing. Not crazy, but he's talking and I'm feeling the message. I'm like, dang. I'm like, preach, brother, preach. I'm like, yes, sir, yes, sir. And he's talking. And he talked about praise and how that's like one of the greatest forms, one of the greatest things you can do. So right after the dishes, and because I was feeling his message, and I wanted to go off and do something else, mind you, that wasn't productive or good for me. But I also kind of had this thought that if you can stay busy till your girl gets home, then you won't have any downtime to like bullshit or do something stupid. So I had a praise break. I have these songs I listen to from Carmen, old school Christian artist. my parents would play them when I was a kid, and when I think about it when I'm an adult, um, words are powerful. Vibration, words are powerful. So I'm singing along with these songs, and I have a top five that I listen to, so it was about a 30-minute praise break. And at first I was like, oh, I'm only gonna play like one or two songs. And I'm singing along and I'm not feeling it. But I've had the same feeling occur a couple other times before. Once when I was in an apartment all by myself and I was lost, didn't know what to do, and I sang, sang with this praise music, and something happened. But I wasn't feeling it, right? In fact, I was kind of having dirty thoughts. But regardless, like yesterday, I played these praise and worship songs and I'm singing along with it and I'm not feeling anything right about it. But I even told myself like, just go with it. Just say it, even if you're not really feeling it. And by the fifth song, I was totally in it, right? I'm singing, I'm praising, you know? And I don't know, I feel like it uplifted me. So after that, I want to stay productive. That was at 5:05 p.m. 5:30 p.m. I still took a break because I have a 2-hour timer. I wanted to let my food digest for 2 hours before I hit more squats. And I kind of had a routine where uh, while I'm eating, I watch my favorite show. So that's about 20 minutes. Limits you to a 20-minute, 30-minute break. And then I have another show that I like to watch, Vikings. It's more intense and dramatic and stuff. But I was like, you know what? The timing of it, I have 45 minutes left on my timer. And I want my food to digest. So take a little break. But that only was 30 minutes. And I cleaned the litter, pretty sure because I finished the dishes. And I was telling myself, um, my whole routine might be small or whatever, but my whole thing is I just want to do my exercises and my chores, which is dishes, litter, and trash. Um, so I'm like, I'm gonna stop this Viking show a little bit early and do the litter and take out the trash, so that way when I finish my squats, I can just take a shower. Mind you, I didn't know when my girl was getting home. Uh, but something in me, like I spent every hour was accounted for. And so I did that little chores. Then at 6:15, my 2-hour timer went off. And I'm like, all right, time to go. So I hit my 200 squats. Boom, that's 1,000. Then I do my weighted squats. And it was interesting because I just studied exercise physiology, saying what the progressive overload, you want to do some hard work, then some maintenance work, and then hard work again, right? Like you don't want to just do hard work and burn out. You want to switch it, you know? And I kind of felt like, because I was trying to do the same rest time that I do just regular squats. But it's like doing it with the weight was kind of taking it out of me. So I was like, you need to take longer breaks, bro. You're going a little too hard. And so whatever it was, it took me, and I was going hard. And perhaps I didn't know why, but Then I stopped at the midway point, and I was thinking about stopping at the midway point, and I was kind of telling myself like, you should, bro, because you're using a lot of energy right now, bro. It's a little bit tougher than what you're used to. And right when I hit that halfway point at 222, my girl pulls up. And I'm like, okay, well, that ends it right there. So I did 1,000, 222 total squats yesterday. And it made me think like, okay, I wrote 500 weighted squats, didn't hit that. Normally, myself would be like, okay, I got till midnight to knock out the rest. But something in me was like, this is one of those learning lessons, right? And I was thinking it goes back to when I was staying with my dad. And I was like, okay, so now what we do is next week when we hit weighted squats, we say we're only going to do 1,000. So we do 1,000 regular squats and then 100 weighted squats, which I kind of knew like that's something I normally do or something I'm more in tune with. So we learn, and next time we don't write 500 weighted, we write 100 weighted because we know that's possible. And then we do that, and then our subconscious becomes confident in ourselves. Anyway, I took a note that, I need to be taking longer rests when I'm working with weight. Because when I'm working with calisthenics, I usually take 30-second rests, which is a little crazy, but with the weights, I usually take a minute and a half. So I was still taking 30-second breaks in between sets, and it was kind of messing with me a little bit. So just need to take a little bit longer. But I don't know what it was, bro, because like it took it out of me, which was good because I haven't felt that way in a while. Exercising to the extent of exhaustion or pushing myself, really. I used to push myself in the gym lifting weights and stuff, but everything I've been doing lately is kind of laid back. I learned from the Chinese that they walk long distance, but they just do it slow throughout the day. So everything I've been doing, I've just been, that's my thing. Large volume, but, in doable quantities. Anyway, so it really took it out of me. So I haven't talked to the girl the whole day, and so she thought I was still upset with her. She's asking like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nah, nothing. I'm just tired." Because I'm like, usually I'm just full of energy, right? But that's good because I always feel like I'm in a better mental state when I use all my inertia, use all my energy, and I'm in a better mental state because usually when I interact with people and I haven't been doing anything, I have way too much energy and I'm a little bit too much to handle. I'm just loud or just talking too much, and it's better for me because if I use that energy, I won't talk so much and give my opinion because no one gives a fuck about your opinion anyway. But I stay more silent, only talk when necessary. Anyway, she arrived home, right? 7:10. And I was actually happy because I'm like, man, I did everything I wanted to do, all my critical tasks. I still had tasks that I wanted to do that I knew I wasn't going to complete, but I finished my critical task. I didn't hit all my weighted squats that I wanted to do, but I just knew it was all for a reason, bro. At the very least, now that I'm talking about it, I knew I would transfer those things I wanted to do till today and try to knock those out of the park. But I don't know what it was, man. That I used all that energy. I don't know if that's what made me so emotional or what, but an hour later at 8:12 p.m., I was getting out of the shower. My girl, she's cooking. She has a meal in mind. And I take a shower. And during that time, within that hour, I'm thinking, started out, I'm thinking about my friends. And I wrote down, I miss my brothers. I miss my dad. Like, I feel so far away. You know, I'm in this other town. Like, I feel so out of place. And I think uh, initially it started out because in the morning I'm like, bro, I don't want to be with this girl. I don't want to be here. And then, like, so I was upset the whole day about that, but still getting my work done regardless. And then, like, just, I don't know what it was, G. Just in such an emotional turmoil to where, like, I'm thinking, damn, I miss my brothers, man. Like, I miss my people. I miss my dad. You know, I haven't been communicating with my people, man. And if I had been, and this real playlist came along, real playlist. And if you know about that, then you know. Just look up the community of men on YouTube called Literally Me. Just look up real, period. Real. So there's a community of like young men on YouTubes that are going through depression, that are going through deep, and you read the comment section and you see how everybody's doing mentally, and I don't think I get that deep into it, but it's a good place for me to go that I feel like other people feel or understand me. And this playlist came up, bro. The real playlist. And so I'm playing it while I'm taking a shower, getting ready, getting fresh. And it made me feel a certain type of way. I'm reading some of the comments. And I was thinking about my mama. And I was thinking how I let her down, man. And so it transitioned from my friends and my dad thinking I let everyone down, bro. Like I could have been a leader. They looked up to me to a certain degree, right? And I didn't show improve. You know, they were always asking me for advice. They looked up to me in a manner, you know, in part first because physically I'm bigger than everybody else, but you know, I just feel like I let everyone down because I got distant. I stopped working. So it's like, who wants to talk with a bum nigga like that who's not even doing shit? And I just felt down because I'm like, bro, I haven't seen my friends. I I haven't really talked to my dad because of guilt and shame, because I'm not working and I have no money. And then I was thinking about how, like, bro, like, I thought that I was hurting myself because I hated myself for years. I hated myself for years since I lived in Houston, creating such a negative dialogue, chilling with girls that I didn't even want to be with. And I just get in such a guilt and shame loop to where I stopped talking to my people. And I'm thinking, like, bro, like, your pops already told you, like, you have the best friends, bro. They're not trying to snake you. They have your best interest in mind. They're good people. They have your back and they have your same point of views. They have the same interests as you. And just all around, I thought they're good guys, cool guys, and good guys. And I already know that's hard to find. It's hard to find people like that. And I'm thinking like, damn, bro, you have friends that have your back. You have family that supports you, even with all the dirt I've done, bro. And that shit has made me sad in the past because I'm like, damn. My sister, my dad, my mom, they still love me after all this shit I've done. I'm like, what the fuck? Then I have pity on myself because I'm like, damn, bro, I'm a piece of shit and these people still like me. My family still supports me with all the dirt I've done, let alone my father. He would stick up for me and shit. And I'm like, after all the shit I've done, and you would defend me? You would have my back? My sister still loving me and supporting. I don't see any animosity. I don't see any negativity from my sister. She still had my back no matter what. No matter what mistakes or decisions I would make. Still 100% for me. You could tell there was no fakeness there. My sister always had my back. My dad always supported me. My mom always loved me regardless. And that shit always took me for a whirl because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how can they still want to talk to me, bro? After all the shit I've done. And then my friends, like my good friends, like they fucking would pay for me and shit, knowing I don't have money. They'd be like, oh, I got you, it's covered. And I'm like, that's cool, but bro, bro. And these people still want to be friends with you, even though you've been acting like a bum for the last few years? I'm like, dog, I have such good people. Like, that is so hard to find. I know it, because that's all these people talk about online or on this page. They're like, damn, I have nobody. I can't find a girlfriend. They can't even find love. My thing is telling females to back off. I can't tell females I have no interest in you. I have no problem getting a girlfriend, but it's like, is it a girl I really want to be with? But still, it's like, wow, like that's your fucking issue, dude. Like you don't communicate with girls because you're shy, and then you'll get a handful of girls, but you'll choose the bad girl instead of the good girl or the girl that you don't want. Like it fucked with my brain when I was in Houston because I literally had a good girl and then a bad girl that I wasn't even attracted to like that. But this girl would let me smoke and drink. This girl wanted no part in that. So I chose the shitty situation. Started developing a negative inner dialogue. Brought that over to San Antonio. And, shame and guilt spiral loop. So last night it started out thinking about how like I have all this support and I let everybody down, G. These guys to a degree looked up to me and I wasn't a good leader. I knew how to act. I knew what to do and I didn't do it. And then I was thinking about how ultimately I'm hurting everybody. I thought I was just hurting myself because I had guilt and shame and I would shut everybody out. Shut out my friends to the point where now they're used to it. They make jokes about, oh, I didn't know if you were dead or not because you just fell off the radar. To where the point where my dad makes jokes about it, like, oh, well, sometimes you come through, sometimes you don't. I was just getting in such a self-negative, abusive state where I shut everybody out, bro, because I felt undeserving. But ultimately, my dad told me over the years, like, stay in touch, bro, because you're actually hurting my feelings when you don't communicate with me. Like, stay in communication. And I haven't been doing that. And my friend, like my best friend, like he's like, I get it, but not like I make their life or anything. I don't have to be involved in their life to make them happy, but still, I mean, if you have a good friend and he just falls off the face of the earth and stops talking to you, I mean, I'm sure it will make you feel a certain type of way. So last night I was just thinking, damn, bro, I let everyone down. My friends who are good people, it's hard to come by, and I just fucking stop talking to them. And I do the same thing with my family. Don't talk to my family. Don't respond to texts or calls. And I know it hurts my dad's feelings. And I could be helping everybody. Like, I have the answers, not to be a fucking jack off, but I have the answers. Just like when I would listen to Kanye or J. Cole and they have questions I've seen on documentaries, and I'm like, I know the answers, bro. I can tell you. And having some far off thought, which really isn't far off because you can do absolutely anything. But I'm like, oh, picture myself having a conversation with them and then becoming good friends with all the so-called celebrities that are looking for the right answers. I have them. I have them. That's what I'm thinking. Like he's asking this question. I know what it is, bro. I know. Humbly, trying to stay humble. But just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Like I feel like I had a way of guidance for my friends, and I didn't pick up bear that. To even my dad needing help with his business, like I know the answers. Like you have to do this and this and this, and I didn't take the initiative and do that or hold my word to him. So now like he can't count on me because he doesn't know if I'm gonna come through or not. Could have helped my dad just in general with his car, work on his car, or fix up his house or something. Like, I have the answers for that. I had the answers for my mom, physical therapy, uplift her spirit. And I think that's really what got me. Because it started off upset, and then I'm like, bruh, I let down my friends, I let down my family, and then I let down my mama. And that's where it really took a toll on me. And yeah, I have to admit, I was listening to this real playlist, so I was getting sad. But when I said I let everyone down, distinctly I was thinking about my mom. Because I, the last time she was responsive, I looked at her and I said, I'm sorry. I said I should have done more. And I said, I let you down. I told her. I said, I let you down. I'm sorry. And I cried. And even though she couldn't speak, she patted my arm, as if to say it's okay. And everybody knew that I was the only one that could encourage her to do stuff. She hadn't eaten in over 14 days. And the day that I went to go see her, she was trying so hard to tell me something. She was trying to drink this little milkshake, nutritional milkshake they gave her. And she hadn't eaten shit in 14 days, but she was trying to consume this nutrition to speak with me. She was trying to drink this water to the point where like it was getting like 10:30, and I'm like, I know this is usually her bedtime, and And I am like, I feel bad because she's trying so hard to speak with me. To the point when she hasn't used her vocal cords in over 14 days. So when she was trying to speak, she regurgitated, and I'm cleaning it up after her. And if I didn't shut myself out from the world, my friends and my family, including my mom, if I had gone to see her more, if I had talked on the phone with her more, if I had tried to do something to prove myself, because I got in a bad habit of just borrowing money and lying about working. The whole time I wasn't doing shit. Wasn't doing these things that I told her I was doing. Last thing I told her is I'm joining the army. And I don't know if that's what made her give up on life, because she's like, well, my daughter lives in, Washington D.C. My son's about to leave the state, so what else do I have? Because her her daughters down there didn't give a shit about her, so I'm thinking, damn, like, I wonder if me telling her that I'm joining the army made her feel like she got nothing left. And I told her when I was sitting bedside next to her, I'm like, I'm sorry. You know, we were, I told her we were supposed to go to all the national parks. That's something we talked about doing. I'm like, Ma, you can't go. I was like, you can't go. We got to take this trip. And she looked at me, couldn't say nothing. During that time, she told me like 8 or 9 times she kept telling me to come, but she couldn't say shit. And I was telling myself Saturday, like, I'm never gonna be in a position like that again where I'm gonna miss out on something. The last thing I told her was, I'll be back. She nodded her head. When I came back, didn't come back the next day, didn't come back the day after that, came back on a Monday. By then, she was totally unresponsive. Nothing there. And if I could go back, I would have stayed the night. So what? I didn't want to make my girlfriend or my dad uncomfortable because they would have to drive back to San Antonio by themselves. But I told myself, I was kind of like, tell them to go, bro. Stay here. Stay here till Christmas. Who gives a fuck? Just stay here, G. Because she was trying to tell me something, and I was kind of telling myself, like, bro, just don't go. She's trying so hard. Just stay until you hear what she's trying to tell you. But I felt so bad because she was trying so hard to speak to me, bro, to the point where she just kept regurgitating. Like she hadn't used her vocal cords. She hadn't ate shit in 14 days. She had no will to live. And the last thing I told her was, "Hey, I'm gonna go, I'll be back." Nod her head. And I did. But during that time, I told her, I'm like, I'm sorry. I cried next to her bed. I said, I'm sorry. I let you down. I could have done more. I should have done more. And if I was communicating with her, if I was truly trying to stay on the right path to make her proud, Maybe she would have had her will to live. If I had never left the first time she fell down and I was there for recovery and I told myself to I be the fucking physical therapist. And then I go to my homeboy and he's like, oh no, you need to pay someone to do that. There I go listening to other people again. I was supposed to be there and do physical therapy with her. She didn't even want to eat for 14 days until I showed up. I didn't know it was that bad, but if I had been truly talking to her, if I had been borrowing my girl's car to drive up there like once a week, once every other week, I would have known her condition. I hadn't seen her the whole time she was there, which was since April, and she died in December. Hadn't seen her, just phone calls. So I shut myself out from the world, my friends, shut myself out from my mom. And then look what happened. I was the only one who could encourage her to do stuff, to do this, to stand up for yourself, to tell your daughters to fuck off because they ain't trying to help you really. I was the one who could influence her to take her medicine and exercise, get out of bed. I was the one who could influence her to eat her food, have something to live for, and everyone knew it. They even said that shit over and over again. Like, mom loved you so much. Well, motherfucker, if you knew this shit, why didn't you call me when things started to go bad? You called when she literally had days to live. But it's on me. I could have gone up there. I could have done more. And it just hit me all at once last night, bro. And I was so upset. And my girl thought I was still upset about our argument. But I think it was a collective of things from the morning saying, wow, like, I'm not the person I want to be. I'm not living the lifestyle I want to live. Like, what am I doing? Like, this is not who I thought I would be or where I thought I'd be when I was a child. When I was a little boy, did you picture yourself living like this? Or having this lifestyle or whatever? Like, is this the type of, when you were a little boy, did you picture yourself with this spouse? Did you picture yourself like being damn near homeless? Having no job, no car, no career? Is this what you pictured yourself as a kid? But just the sequence of events yesterday, bro. From waking up saying, "What am I doing? What? Where am I? Who am I with? Like, who am I?" To I think it was that workout. I don't know what it was, but I got so emotional. Like I was saying earlier, like I'm not really one to show emotion, but like the rest of the evening, I was crying. Like 8 o'clock, I was in this room, getting dressed out to shower, still had this real playlist going, and I'm just sad. And that's when I was like, I let him down. And I was thinking about the words that I said to my mom on her bedside that I let you down. I'm sorry. I should have done more. I let you down. So in the beginning, it was about my friends and stuff because I'm like, damn, I let them down. I feel like I let everyone down. And then the rest of the evening was solely focused on my mother. And I was just down, 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 down. Like my girl could even tell, but I was silent though the rest of the night. And timing was everything. That's how I knew because everything was just so on point, bro. Like the fact that I just finished my squats, or the halfway mark at least, this number, that I needed to take a rest anyway because I was doing a lot, using a lot of energy. She pulled up right when I hit the halfway mark. So I was like, that's a sign. Stop right now. then these videos, I knew I wanted to listen to music of some kind, and these music videos pop up, or this playlist, the real playlist, and I'm like, well, I'm in a kind of a down mood anyway, so I play it. Makes me feel a certain type of way. I'm sad. And then this other video came up, one that I've listened to before, but it was very interesting. I listened to it before on a day where I got in an argument with my girl. I had her, I told her to take me to my mom's and drop me off. But I knew she really didn't want to. But she was saying, go ahead, go ahead. She was even driving me, and like a little bit of a quarter of the way, almost halfway there, she was like, I don't even have gas. I said, I have $14, whatever, but I can get you the damn gas to get back here. But whatever, I knew she didn't want me to go, so instead, I bought us some energy drinks and a snack, and I drove us back to San Antonio. Her brother came over, we all chilled, and I was trying to reflect on myself because I got so angry and got in an argument with her, and that's when I first started coming back to the Bible, because I played this playlist that says, Father, help me, I've strayed away like a lost sheep. And it's a Psalms, one of the Psalms. And I saw it pop up in the recommended when I was listening to this real playlist. And one of the things I do is I try to correlate my music. I know it's kind of crazy, but my playlist or my music based off color tone. So this real playlist had the same color tone as this Christian playlist, which is just Bible verses with some music in the background. But for some reason, even though I didn't really want to initially, I'm like, I'm going to play this Christian playlist. Father, help me, I've strayed away. And just how things all work, like, is a 17-minute video, and I spent the whole time crying, thinking how I let my mom down. And then the sole focus was really on my mom, thinking, wow, like, how is she gone? Bruv. And that's why I was really upset in the night. Just a whirlwind, bro. I'm crying the whole time, G. Like, fuck, bro. Like, my mom, G. Like, I could have done so much for her. I let her down. We were supposed to take road trips. We were supposed to do stuff. I'm like, damn, G. She was such a good person. She didn't deserve that. But also, what I was thinking is, it could always be worse. I'm thinking about how other people have had horrible things happen to them, right? I've been sheltered my whole life to a degree. I've had the hedge of protection of God to a degree, to where I haven't gotten in accidents, or events could have been worse, but they weren't. So I haven't really gone through any type of nothing too much. Yeah, I was homeless growing up and whatever. But no traumatic to it, not no crazy stuff. You know, other people have had horrible things happen to them or their family, or maybe a kid lost his mom when he was still a kid. You know, so I started to think like that, like it could always be worse. I know you're sad and it's bad, but God bless. Your mama didn't die when you were a baby, when she was giving birth to you, like could have happened. You've had your mama for 20, 28 years. You know, Other people have had tragedies, or maybe had stuff happen to them. They were abused. You didn't have anything go too bad. Yeah, I was molested twice when I was 5 years old and stuff. 5 and 7, but not too crazy, you know. I know there's worse stories, worse people out there. You know, stuff happened to them. So I was thinking like that. Things could always be worse. But I sat here or I laid down and I just cried, thinking like, oh man, my mama, like she was so good, like she didn't deserve that, G. And how I let her down, and I'm just going over everything in my mind, and just the occurrence of events was so interesting because I'm crying, right, and my girl's right outside watching TV, waiting on me to eat, but I'm telling myself I'm just gonna lay here and let the tears flow, and hopefully she won't come in until after this video's finished because I want to hear the end of these Bible verses. But I'm crying the whole time, and I just go with it. And this is how I knew it then. This is how I know because everything just happens, you know, subsequently. So everything just happened. It flowed. Finished the squats. Girl shows up. You know, I had this real playlist. I just so happened to see. I play it because you know, and then leads to this other video, the Bible verses, which I feel like when I'm really down is what I need the most. And it kind of helps because the style of video that I listen to is Bible verses combined with like some music, which isn't, I don't like contemporary music stuff. So, you know, it's kind of like a new school music, whatever. And the girl came in right after the video finished. And I kind of chuckled a little bit because that's how I knew something's happening, G. And she said, why are you mad at me? Why are you upset? Why are you still in here? Because it had been 17 minutes since I got out the shower and I'm just laying here crying, but she didn't know. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I was literally about to get up. So I go out there, I eat a little bit with her. And I didn't know, but she went to bed, you know, kind of early, 9 o'clock or whatever, because she had work at 5 in the morning, so she goes to bed earlier. So she went to bed. She says, I'm going to lay down. I'm like, okay. But for some reason, and usually when she says that, I just follow, right? Like I just go. I know she wants me to go with her. But I stayed back. And for some reason, I put on Netflix. And I play this film, The Free State of Jones, with Matthew McConaughey. And I've always liked that film. And it was at the beginning of the film. And I've seen it, you know, a few times. I've been meaning to watch the whole thing. Maybe that's what I'll do today, even though my girl probably gets off in an hour. Anyway, I watched this film, and I'm watching it with the state of mind of the notes that I took that it could always be worse. And I always liked that film because in the beginning it's a little rough, you know, but it shows the tragedy of war to a degree. And I think it was his nephew or something, but his family member, a kid, was with him, and he's trying to protect him and keep him out of the firing range, and he gets shot. And you see the boy dying, and he can't get help from the medical tent. And I was still in the state of mind of thinking like it could always be worse, you know. So to see that where a kid, you know, didn't get to have a life and he's dying. And Matthew McConaughey said something to him because the boy said, I'm scared. He said, you don't have to be scared. You believe in God, don't you? And you're going to go home and be with him. And then he said something. And this is crazy because I start crying again and again. I'm usually not an emotional person like that. I don't show my emotions like that. I don't do that type of stuff. But I'm alone watching this movie and I hear him say something. And Matthew McConaughey's like, he says, you love God and God loves you. And it's just so crazy to see these things that connect because I wrote a note on my mom's notepad the first time I came and she was somewhat responsive. And by the way, that time when I was crying, telling her, I'm sorry I let you down, and she was kind of patting me, and she just wanted to hold my hand. And now I feel like it's a crazy, I don't even really want to hold my girl's hand because it just reminds me of my mama. Because all my mom wanted to do was just hold my hand. She couldn't talk to me. But I felt as though my mom was praying over me that day, even though she couldn't talk, she was trying to. One of the times she told me to come in, and I was still unclear whether she was trying to tell me something. I'm like, you trying to tell me something? She's like nodding her head, yeah. But she still couldn't speak, and something in me was telling me, like, why don't you give her a hug, bro? Because no matter how many months she's been in this place, I bet you nobody's hugged her. So I gave her a hug. And, well, I felt her hand like go on my head and rest there. And I could have sworn that she was praying over me. So I feel as though the last time I saw her and she was responsive, even though she couldn't speak, she was still praying over me. And I felt like she was praying over me for the Lord to give me peace. And perhaps that's why I handled it unabruptly to a degree. Even my girl was scared because she said, I've always been scared of your mom dying because I thought you would go crazy. I didn't know how you would act. And it's just interesting because I always viewed myself going crazy, spazzing. That whoever told me my mama was dead, I would say, fuck you. I'd be like, God bless the soul, whoever tells me my mama's dead because they're about to get cussed the fuck out. I'm going to say, fuck you. Don't tell me that shit, asshole. Hang up on them. I always pictured if someone told me my mama was dead, I'd just start running. Burst out the door, start running, running until I lose breath. And I can't run no more. Or fucking punching a wall or punching the fucking sidewalk till I'm bloody. Like, I always pictured myself spazzing out. But I think it's due to her praying over me that I had true peace. And even now, I get sad, mainly because of the way she died and seeing what I saw. But I know she went to heaven. If she believed in that book wholeheartedly and that book is true, then I gotta believe that she's up there. But I was so quiet last night and I sat alone watching that film and just so happened to see it, bro. I didn't know. And maybe I didn't even know where it came from. Because I even remember I hesitated. I'm like, what does that mean? I wrote in her notebook before I left, I said, you love God and God loves you. I even hesitated writing that part. Who would have known that, like, I got that from this film? And I just so happened to play that film last night when I was alone. And I saw that scene. And he's telling this dying boy, and so I'm crying watching this movie. And I'm just thinking how I miss my mama. I told her I would get land for her to live with me on. I told her I would take her on a road trip to see all the state parks. I should have done more. I cried next to her bedside, telling her I let her down. I'm sorry. And then that's when I heard the quote. And Matthew McConaughey said, "You love God, and God loves you." And that made me get in all my feels again, because I'm like, damn, bro, that's what I wrote on my mom's notepad. So last night, I just wanted to cry. And then, I don't know why, or I don't know what happened. I was in the kitchen getting something. I guess just because it's routine. I wanted some ice cream. And the girl comes out and she's looking for a hug. And she's like, "Are you mad?" And I'm like, "Nah, just thinking about my mama." And she was like, "Will you come lay down with me?" I'm like, sure, sure. And, it was good timing because the roommate came home like 10, 15 minutes after that. So it was good. I'm in here. I'm calmed down a little bit. And then I'm listening to this other video that popped up, and it was like an hour long, but for some reason, I was listening to it and just kind of processing everything. And when the roommate came home, and then, I guess an event happened or something happened because my girl got up and talked to her for about 15, 20 minutes. And by the time she came back, literally the 50-minute video I was watching was ending. So everything was synchronicity, everything was lined up. And then, because I wanted to leave my phone on the charger, and I just went to bed and started watching iRobot because I was looking for films to watch, and I didn't really feel too tired. Watched iRobot because I always told people I'm Will Smith in iRobot. That's just how I always felt. I always felt a connection to that I don't know why. But yesterday was just very interesting. Because although all this stuff was going in my mind from being furiously mad when I'm going on my first walk, because I went straight from a fight or an argument to a walk, right? I know I got to get my walks in to feel better. And it's also a sign that I should be waking up, doing more, getting all that out the way. Same thing, same experience with my dad. If I get all that stuff out, go for my 45-minute walk, come back, I'm able to communicate. Even if you're on some shit, you can come at me sideways. You can be bitching about how your fucking leg hurts and there's shit on the floor and you don't like that you gotta do this shit, and it won't even faze me. But if I wake up late and you're in a shitty mood, then I'm gonna reflect that and I'm gonna be shitty. But anyway, thinking about how I went on my first walk with all this anger inside of me, like fuck that bitch. Then I come home and I knew it because I start hitting those squats. And I even wrote it in my journal. I said, that's how you know you're on the right path when things start going wrong. So I hit my squats. Then I studied physiology. I wanted to study for 2 hours. Don't know why, but I study. And then I get to use a resource from the library. So that came into play. I learned something. You know what I'm saying? I got a new resource for free, at least for 30 days. I put a book on hold at the library, which is available 2 days, so I could go pick it up if I really wanted to. And everything was just lined up. Now today, I'm sure my girl went in at 5 in the morning, so she's probably getting off like right about now or 3 o'clock. So it's 2:07 now. So I know if I'm gonna hit my push-up, it takes me 45 minutes, so I'm gonna have to start like right after this video. But that's the only thing I care about, is journaling in my notebook and doing my push-ups. That's it. But yesterday, every hour was accounted for. The whole time from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So the whole time my girl's at work, I had every single hour accounted for. I went for a walk. I studied for 2 hours. I studied a second subject, did my dishes, mopped the floor, went for a second walk. And when I was on my second walk, I'm thinking like I felt the difference. I was thinking about the difference between the walk I had in the morning, so negative, and going on the second walk with a different perspective. It was good for me. And I actually took some very critical notes that I think are going to help me in the future as I was walking. It was interesting. And then from that walk, went home, did some more dishes to stay productive, keep it flowing. Then I hit squats. Then I took a lunch break. Then I did more dishes to keep the productivity going. Then, because I listened to that Christian-based fellow, I took a praise break. Didn't even know why, because I didn't even want to. I didn't feel like it. But I just went with the flow. Turned out to be okay. Had a 30-minute praise break. Watched another piece of a show I enjoyed to let my food digest. Then I did some more chores, the litter and the trash that I usually do. So I was able to do all the stuff that I like to do, right? Then I hit more squats. Then I hit the weighted squats. So I did everything I was supposed to do. And right when I was finishing, girl pulls up. So every hour was accounted for, I mean, it may be stuff that's not surmountable, not too important, doesn't go towards the bills. I wasn't going to work, but because I was in such emotional turmoil that whole day, different factors, argument with the girl, thinking about my friends, thinking about my mama. But Sunday, bro, yesterday, February 26th, 31 days after my mama passed. And it was just interesting, bro. It was interesting. I don't know. I think it was a fundamental day for me. Every hour on the hour marked for from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Every hour on the hour marked for. You know, taking something that I had so big and just chipping it off in pieces. Same method I would use for hitting a thousand squats. And I did a little bit of dishes to where the whole kitchen was clean. You know, I did 1,000 squats, a little bit at a time, chip, 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 because it was Sunday, leg day. Got it done. You know, the dishes looked enamorous, you know, crazy. I'm like, I don't even want to do it, but chip it away a little bit. You know, I did the dishes like 3 times. Once, twice, three times. But I got it all done, all fresh. So, interesting day. That's it, man. Let's make every day an interesting day.